Imagine this, you just cracked the code to going viral on TikTok. Your views are skyrocketing, your sales are climbing, and then boom, TikTok gets banned. What do you do next?
I think it's every marketer's nightmare, but don't panic. Today, we're going to give you the best TikTok alternatives to keep your short form video strategy absolutely thriving. So if you're a small to medium sized enterprise, business, local business, wondering how to stay ahead, then this is the episode for you.
And trust me, these options aren't just backups, they're opportunities to take your brand to the next level. Ready to explore them?
So my name's Adam. I run website designers Dr. London. We're an online marketing agency which is ranked in the top 1% in the UK, helping businesses generate tens of millions of pounds.
And my name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a specialist SEO agency based in London. We've helped more than 400 businesses generate over £200 million in sales.
Amazing. So look, I think we probably should talk about why TikTok has been so successful and why it's been a game changer for SMEs, so small to medium sized enterprises. TikTok wasn't just another app. I think what I've certainly been reading in the news since Donald Trump has been talking about not Donald Trump, but the establishment of politicians in the US have been talking about banning TikTok. It's all about TikTok's algorithm. The algorithm is just extremely smart, shows you what content you think you want to see, and it's very captivating. I'm certainly, I end up scrolling on it for hours sometimes and don't realise where time's gone, to the point where I've had to check myself and delete the app, and I'm having a little bit of a social media detox at the moment, but it's extremely addictive, I'd say. What's your experience been like on TikTok, Josh?
To be honest with you, I've only had TikTok for about a week.
Okay.
I got it back in COVID and
Okay.
I deleted it
Okay.
almost instantly.
Why is that?
I just didn't want to be addicted to another social media platform,
Okay.
and that was the reason why. But one interesting thing I've heard about TikTok, I don't know how true this is, but back a few years ago, Mark Zuckerberg was in trouble with the US government, or I don't know exactly what it was, and they apparently TikTok's algorithm is based on Facebook's back then. So Facebook had a new algorithm that was rolling out, and it was based more on video content and short form content. But they stopped doing that because of the detrimental impact it was going to have on the American population. Apparently, this is what I've heard. I don't know how true it is. And then TikTok basically took that white paper that Facebook developed, and they used that to create the TikTok algorithm.
Hence why we are where we are today, I guess, right?
Potentially, yes.
That's amazing. Look, so it's been the platform for absolute explosive organic growth. I've heard so many stories of somebody just in their bedroom after work one day, after their 9 to 5, start to talk about a topic they're passionate about, and end up becoming social media influencers, but actually making a decent amount of money through the creator kind of payment scheme that they have. I mean, I've seen people record themselves studying in silence. I've seen people make it, back in the day when you had those, or you still do, you have teleshopping. So on TV, people selling you products. They have that live streaming, people selling toilet paper on TikTok, It's extremely successful. We've talked about the success of TikTok, I think, in a previous episode. It's got over 1 billion users worldwide, and small businesses could hit tens of thousands of views with little to no budget, according to Statista as of 2023. Luckily in the UK, if you're listening to this in the UK, I don't think we need anything to worry about yet, and I think Donald Trump himself has also extended the ability for TikTok to operate in the US for, I think, temporarily 60 to 90 days at the moment.
I'm not sure, but somewhat funny side note, I've heard that you can't install TikTok on your phone in the US at the moment.
Yep.
And there are phones being sold on eBay for thousands of pounds
Yes.
because they have TikTok pre-installed.
Wild. No, I've seen that too. And It's crazy. So look, I guess this episode is for us to talk about TikTok and the best alternative for viral marketing. So TikTok made marketing more accessible. It wasn't about the kind of glossy, big budget ads. It's more about reputable, authentic content. And typically, if you're consistent, it could just take one viral post to turn into real measurable sales for SMEs. So what are the alternatives? Let's talk about some of the best alternatives.
So Instagram Reels, or Instagram and Instagram Reels are a great alternative. Very, very similar kind of concept to TikTok, short form video content. I suppose to step back again quickly to TikTok, I think one of the reasons TikTok became very popular is that anybody could be featured on the kind of, is it the Explore page or For You page on TikTok.
Yep.
And it was based, as I understand it, more so on interactions, engagements, watch time, rather than kind of follow account. So if you just made one video and it was good, it could be shown to everybody. Whereas previously on social media, you had to be followed by loads and loads of people for it to be found. And I think Instagram and the other social media platforms are kind of moved more towards this interest-based social media rather than follower-based. So Instagram, I suppose, is becoming more and more like TikTok. So Instagram Reels give you access to a massive user base, over 2 billion active users, according to Business of Apps. And as you probably know, Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a great source to get your business in front of people. Amazing.
So Instagram Reels, number one. Number two. So the first two I'd say are kind of not extraordinary, surprising for our listeners, but we've got a few more alternatives that I think some of them we haven't even heard of. Some of them we have. So bear with us. Number two. Best alternative, YouTube Shorts. Now, YouTube Shorts is fairly new. They are videos, but in short form. So they allow you to post videos on YouTube, but how it works is it's typically under a minute. So I think some shorts are usually under a minute. Most shorts are under a minute. So if you've got short kind of content, then go for it. I'm going to say Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V. He back in 2022, he talked about YouTube Shorts and how he believes there's an opportunity, to post there often, use titles that are searchable on YouTube. To use it like TikTok, but don't hesitate because he believes there is a huge opportunity. Now, I paraphrased that from a post that he published 2 years ago, and it's become extremely more popular over time. It already dominates the long-form content, YouTube does, and now Shorts is giving TikTok a run for its money. And ultimately, YouTube's algorithm rewards consistency and quality. So if you're already on YouTube, Shorts is an easy way to expand your reach. You just kind of cut the video up into smaller chunks, and Bob's your uncle, you've got it. So, and also obviously you've got the opportunity to monetize on YouTube. You're not just building an audience, you're building that revenue stream too. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Josh to talk to you about this third one. And I must say, when I heard of the name for this, I felt like a little kid because I could not stop laughing. So Josh, take it away.
Yeah, so here's one you may not have heard of, and to be honest, I had not heard of it either. So this is called Clapper, which is interesting.
Not with an S, right?
Interesting choice of name. It can't be a British company. I think it's US based. So it's a smaller platform. I think it has 2 million, did we see? 2 million?
2 million users, active users by 2023.
Yeah. Fairly big portion of people using it, and it focuses on authenticity and community. And apparently it skews more to an older niche. So there may be more people, if you're targeting an older demographic, that might be a great option for you. TikTok, I suppose, you would probably think is more skewing to a younger audience, but there are, it does attract an older audience too. So, is there anything you want to add on that one, Adam?
Yeah. So, look, it was founded in 2020 as an alternative for TikTok for more mature audiences, so 17 years old plus. So 4 years ago, available on both Android and iOS, and it's known for its kind of moderation. So it's not as it's free speech. Sorry, so it's got and it strengthened its moderation practices since its kind of influx of far right content in the early 2021. But since then, it's achieved as Josh mentioned, 2 million monthly active users by 2023. Number of downloads has increased after that US bill that would potentially ban TikTok in the US, which was signed in 2024. As Josh mentioned, US-based, Texas-based by a Chinese-American entrepreneur. His name's Edison Chen. Ultimately, it's a great source of it's a great bit of social media. It's got similarities with TikTok. Layout includes the kind of following function and the For You tabs, with videos up to 3 minutes long that can be liked and commented or shared. They've got this feature called the clap back feature, which allows users to create basically responses like like you can do a TikTok respond to, or create a stitch. For example,
duet as well, do they call
duet,
it?
that's it, yeah. You can also live stream and have chat rooms on there like you can do with X, I believe. You can also tip the Clapper creators. I nearly said the one with the S, so just the Clapper, not through its Clapper Fam monetization feature, which sounds a bit cringy, I'll be honest. So in place of in-app advertisements. So there's also a Clapper shop, which allows you to sell to users, like TikTok Shop. And apparently, according to Clapper's CEO Chen, it's actually distributed over $10 million to users in total in 2023. So look, 17 years old plus, no adult content is allowed on the platform, and it's obviously getting significantly bigger since the TikTok report kind of potential ban. Get on it, ultimately, if you can just copy and paste, i.e. post the same video that you post on TikTok, that you used to post on TikTok, post on Clapper, then great. So that's Clapper, and I think we've got a few more before we kind of get into repurposing TikTok content and closing. So, Josh, did you want to talk about any other ones that you've kind of heard of and mentioned, and kind of differentiators if we have those yet?
One that's somewhat obvious, I suppose, maybe Snapchat. Again, this is something I don't use anymore. I used to have it years and years ago. It's a video first content. I don't know if there's an explore page. I don't know how it works nowadays, but that skews to a younger demographic, so that could be one. A second might be Triller, which, according to ChatGPT, has more traffic than Clapper. So that's another platform that might be worth looking at. Perfect.
So we've talked about Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, very, very similar. Talked about Clapper. Again, how they position. We've talked about Clapper as well. Any other ones you've got there? No.
There's a list here, but to be honest with you, I've not heard of many of these. I suppose you could research these and look into them yourself. So, Lomotif, Big O Live, Twitch is one I've heard of. That's more of a live
Twitch,
streaming.
Yeah, live stream, isn't it?
So that's a big one. Kick, Odyssey, Rizzle, Zigazoo.
Zigazoo. Okay,
nice
sounds
name.
like it. So obviously, the big one we haven't really talked about. Rednote.
Yes. That's good.
Rednote. Okay, so also known as. Now I'm actually studying
Are you
Mandarin.
studying Mandarin?
Yeah. So I'm going to try and pronounce the pinyin. So that's the Chinese name for it. Xiao Hong Shu. is the name for it in Chinese, which translates as Little Red Book. So Shanghou Shu, otherwise known as Red Book, or Red Note, sorry, has been called China's answers to Instagram. So as of 2020, 70% of the platform's users were reportedly born after 1990, and nearly 70% of them were female. So again, in January 2025, the app gained a huge, significant growth since the US and other parts of the world kind of would kind of shut down TikTok. So it was originally known as a kind of shopping guide and targeted Chinese tourists. And since it's really developed, and it's become pretty big in China for sure. Although, now it's becoming more internationalized, especially since 2018. Sorry, and just I think you should again use the content you have that you've already created to post. It does focus on lifestyle topics, and has an ecosystem that has given it a growing advantage in regards to kind of competition with other Chinese search engines. It's certainly worth checking out because more people are downloading it and using it as time goes on. So, Josh, anything that you would add to Red Note?
No, I don't think so. I was just trying to figure out when it was launched. But in the US, it may have only been this year, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
Okay, cool. Well, look, ultimately, it's definitely a social media that a lot of people in the news have been talking about. So give it a shot. There's no harm in doing so. Before we close, in fact, just one last thing. You can also. It looks a bit like Pinterest, but it allows you to post and bookmark and search and share. Very similar to Red Notes. It does, because is created in China, it does have to adhere to Chinese regulations, so it does have stricter content moderation. Although you could say the same for TikTok. User-generated content, lifestyle, community-driven posts, integrated shopping experiences, I think are the kind of key takeaways there. So let's go back to repurposing kind of existing content, Josh.
Yeah, so like Adam mentioned earlier, to a degree, you mentioned about copying and pasting things from one channel to another. If TikTok does disappear from the UK and the rest of the world, then very simple and easy thing you can do is look at what done best on your TikTok page and simply copy that, upload it again onto YouTube Shorts, onto Instagram Reels, onto Facebook Reels, across all these different channels we spoke about today, and see what kind of results you can get on those platforms.
Amazing. So look, the big takeaway here, short form videos are here to stay. Platforms like Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, Clapper, Red Note, and all the other ones, the peculiar names that Josh mentioned earlier, they're incredible opportunities to keep your business in the spotlight, even without TikTok. So keep experimenting, keep posting, be consistent, and maybe one of those posts will go viral. So every platform does have its quirks, so find out what works for you and your audience. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and we hope you found it helpful. Share it with your network, please, and do let us know what you'd like to hear and listen to. But until next time, keep creating and keep growing. My name has been Adam.
And I'm Josh.